Good morning and Hare Krishna, everyone. Nice to be back, you all. We will continue reading from this beautiful book called The Nectarean Ocean of the Holy Name by Śrīla Sachinandana Swami. I believe we finished, we are on the third part of this book, Absorption into the Nectarean Ocean of the Holy Name, which is a Shuddha-nama, the key to pure chanting. And we completed Mahaprabhu's instruction, Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu's instructions on Tranadapi Shunechena, Taroreva Saheshana, Amanina Manadina, Kirtanaya Sada Harihi. One who thinks himself lower than the grass, who is more tolerant than a tree, and who does not expect personal honor, but is always prepared to give all respect to others, can very easily always chant the holy name of the Lord. Now we will see the third section on the Shuddha Nama called Absorption into the Nectarian Holy Name, Nectarian Ocean of the Holy Name. I'll start reading. For deeply absorbed chanting, Śrīla Bhaktivinoda Ṭhākura advises as follows. Number 1, association with saintly persons, especially with the spiritual master and advanced devotees. Number 2, isolation from the disturbances of worldly life, externally as well as internally, by withdrawing the mind from disturbing thoughts. Number 3, determination and steady enthusiasm. Let me repeat, as these are very fundamental basic principles for our progress in Krishna consciousness. Number 1, association with saintly persons, especially with the spiritual master and advanced devotees. Number 2, isolation from the disturbances of worldly life, externally as well as internally, by withdrawing the mind from disturbing thoughts. Number 3, determination and steady enthusiasm. Lack of any of these three things is going to be struggle in Krishna conscious progress in Krishna consciousness. So something that we can write these things in a bit of paper or somewhere and stick it wherever we constantly move around, to remind ourselves that we need to be in the association of devotees and try to be not disturbed by the worldly events that's happening in our life. And we should definitely have determination and steady enthusiasm. If you don't have determination and enthusiasm, if you don't have enthusiasm, naturally we are going to become lazy. That is the biggest struggle or a roadblock in Krishna consciousness. If we become lazy, then we cannot progress much. And the laziness and worldly desires and all those disturbances can easily be dealt if we apply the first principle, which is the association with saintly person, especially with the spiritual master and advanced devotees. We should make sure we are in the association of the devotees so that the other two can be easily dealt. Let me continue reading. As already explained, continuous chanting of the holy name gradually awards the devotee with the realization that there is no difference between the holy name and Krishna. First, Krishna's form is revealed, then his qualities, and finally, his transcendental pastimes. The Hari-nāma-cintāmaṇi and its sequel called Bhajana-rahasya, the secret of Bhajana, describe 5 steps on the way to such high perfection of chanting Hare Krishna. It is of great use to hear of them, for one who knows the goal will remain inspired even in troublesome stages of his journey. Repeating, it is of great use to hear of them, Which of them? The 5 things we are going to see now. For one who knows the goal will remain inspired even in troublesome stages of this journey. The 5 steps are culminating in the full realization of the holy name. So I'll start reading the 5 steps. Number 1, avoid the 10 offenses. Try to chant steadily and to pronounce the holy name distinctly while meditating on the transcendental sound vibration. Number 2, as soon as your chanting is steady, clear, and blissful, you will be able to meditate on the form of Shyamasundara. Then start to select the very form of the holy name that appears in your purified vision. You can also look at the form of the Lord while sitting in front of the deities and meditating on the holy name. So that's number 2. And that Lord Brahma explains that the Lord appears in front of the devotees in the very form. Lord Brahma explained that the Lord appears in front of the devotees in the very form in which they meditate on him. So whichever form we meditate upon, the Lord will appear in that particular form. Some may like how Bhishma Dev liked to meditate upon how Krishna was trying to run towards him carrying the wheel. Like that, each one of us may have our favorite form of the Lord. If we meditate on that particular form of the Lord will appear in that form. And this is confirmed by Brahma himself. The translation is over here. O my Lord, you are so merciful to your devotees that you manifest yourself in the particular eternal form of transcendence in which they always think of you. Number 3. So again, number 1 is avoiding 10 offenses. Number 2, as we chant clearly on the sound vibration, meditating upon a beautiful form of Krishna, that form that we are attracted to. Number 3, having attained the stage where Krishna's name and form blend into one, you will naturally feel inclined to remember the transcendental qualities of the Lord. Thus, the holy name and Krishna's qualities unite by constant chanting. So, chanting without offenses. As we chant without offenses, we meditate on the form of the Lord. As we meditate upon the form of the Lord, then we start remembering, recollecting the qualities, guna, all kalyana guna, qualities of the Lord. That's number 3. Number 4, at this stage, it is natural to remember Krishna's certain pastimes of Krishna. This meditation, called Leela Smarana, gradually becomes one with the holy name and the form of qualities of the Lord. Now you can perceive the first beam of Nama-rasa. You will chant with great pleasure and see Krishna surrounded by gopas and gopis under a kalpavriksha tree in Yogapeetham. Repeating, first we chant without offenses. As we chant, we meditate upon a particular form of the Lord. As we meditate on a particular form of the Lord reveals, and then we are able to enjoy his qualities, appreciate his qualities. As we appreciate the qualities, number 3. Number 4 is then we start able to meditate upon the pastime of the Lord. Leela Smarana. And the last one, 5. By constant practice, Leela Smarana increase up to the point when you start to meditate on Radha Madhava, Ashtakaliya Leela. When this meditation is fully displayed, you'll experience the pure taste of Namarasa. So, chanting without offenses. Meditating, number 2, meditating upon the form of the Lord. Number 3, as we meditate upon the form of the Lord without offenses, as we chant, then the qualities are revealed. As the qualities are revealed, number 4, then the pastimes are also seen to us. And the last one is, as we constantly practice in this way, then Leela Smarana increases up to the point when you start to meditate on Radha Madhava Ashtakaliya Leela. When this meditation is fully displayed, you will experience the pure taste of Nama Rasa. Ashtakaliya Leela, the most confidential daily pastimes of Krishna and Radharani in Vrindavan, which are divided into 8 sections. They are explained in Sri Bhajana-rahasya. Those are all very advanced topics, or at least for now we can understand it's about Krishna's pastimes with Radharani and the gopis. And in the yeah, in the preceding chapter, we emphasized repeatedly how important it is to fix the mind fully on the chanting of the holy name. There are, so to say, three rules of chanting. Now, this is very important. If we can't remember whatever has been said so far, this is very important. I am repeating to repeatedly emphasize how important to fix the mind fully on chanting of holy name. There are, so to say, three rules of chanting. This is, if we can remember this rule, then the rest of the five things will come in place. The three rules is number one, listen as we chant. Number two, listen as we chant. And number three, listen as we chant. So that's all. Listen, listen, and listen. As we're chanting, we have to listen to the holy name that we chant. It shouldn't be mechanical. It shouldn't be for the sake of doing chanting and finishing our rounds. None of those things should be the idea. Rather, we are chanting to listen. As our listening ability increases, then we can experience the rest of the things that's been mentioned so far, where we can chant without offenses and where we can meditate upon the Lord's form and then Lord's qualities and his pastimes and ultimately the Ashtakaliya Leela. Thank you very much. Let's see if there is any discussions. You're all doing well. And thank you so much for being regular to this program continuously. It is inspiring others and for our personal growth as well in Krishna consciousness. Thank you so much. Anything to talk, any realizations or anything, comments?
Hare Krishna Prabhu, can you go back to the second? You said that you can meditate upon the form of Sham Sundara. What's the detail on that?
So as soon as your chanting is steady, clear, and blissful, you will be able to meditate on the form of the Lord. So it is not artificial, it's natural.
It's natural. Okay.
It's natural. Otherwise, in the beginning stage, if we try to just focus on the form of the Lord, but not on focus on the chanting, which is how this whole section is ended. Listen, listen, listen. It is not telling to see, see, see. Rather, it's telling listen, listen, listen. So, idea is to first we have to chant, listening clearly, and that's a meditation. First, we have to have, and naturally, this number two will come, where when our chanting is steady, clear, and blissful. These three important points: steady, clear, and blissful. That means what? When you're chanting, we are not satisfied of just finishing this many rounds. Our chanting continues. We want to chant extra rounds. We want to chant more. We want to improve on. That's the stage when it comes. Then naturally the other second part will come into the picture.
Thank you, Prabhu.
Okay, 5:31. I think we can end here. Thank you all very much. For next few days, I may be in and out, but kindly please excuse me and tolerate my availability, but I'll try to as much as possible. Otherwise, we'll see you all again tomorrow, 5 a.m. Thanks, Central.